This video is made possible by Practical Defense Systems, the best online security training at the lowest prices. You can start your security career today online at pdsclasses.com. Check them out. Hi, this is Joel Persinger. I'm the Gun Guy. Thank you for doing everything that you do to keep GunGuyTV alive. I am very, very grateful for everything that you do, even if it's just watching the videos and listening to the podcast. I appreciate it deeply. With that in mind, you might want to check out these alternative locations for videos. Obviously, YouTube can be a bit sketchy. Now, obviously, also MeWe, Parler, Gab, those are not video platforms. Those are social media platforms, but the other ones all have the duplication of the entire channel. You might also check out the GunGuyTV Firearms podcast. It's available on your favorite podcast player. Okay, what am I talking about today? I'm trying to catch up, quite honestly, on all this stuff that people sent me right before the Chinese virus invaded our country and shut down all of the ranges pretty much in California, and I couldn't do much as far as reviewing products. So right now I'm trying to catch up on product reviews. One of the products that was sent to me during that time was the 1010 Cross Mag from Cross Industries. And you may have seen it before because I've had the thing, I don't know, I've had a bunch of them for almost a year, I think, and haven't been able to do much with them until recently. Now, recently I've gone out in the range and played with them a lot. And truthfully, I wish we didn't have to fuss around with these kinds of solutions, but we still have restrictive states, and the Supreme Court still has not addressed a lot of the Second Amendment issues. I hope they will. But in the meantime, if you're in a restrictive state as I am in California, you have certain things that you can do and certain things you can't do. Oftentimes that's a magazine capacity issue. In California, for example, in case you're not in California, I can have a fully functional rifle, which this is. The problem is that it has to have an absence of certain features. It can't have a collapsible stock. It can't have a pistol grip that I can wrap my thumb around, so I have to run the rifle like this, which is okay. I have a pretty good grip, and I'm used to doing it at this point. And it can't also have any kind of muzzle device like a flash hider. It can have a muzzle brake or something along those lines, and that's what this has got. But it can't have a flash hider. And it can, if you do it that way, it's considered what's called a featureless rifle in the state, and then it can have detachable magazines. And if you were in California and on your toes, we had a week there in which Judge Benitez gave us a week to buy magazines. And if you bought standard capacity magazines instead of the neutered ones, now you can have a fully functional rifle and you can use your standard capacity mags with it. And then when you're buying mags now, if you want to do it legally until this winds its way through court, you have to buy 10-round mags if you want to stay legal. Well, enter the solution by Cross Industries with their 1010 Cross Mag. I've seen a lot of these kinds of solutions, and this is really the most innovative of the bunch as far as I'm concerned, because it gives you a whole lot of options. One, I like it because it's made well. It's very reliable. The magazines work flawlessly. I've had no problems running them at all, and I've run a lot of rounds through them, even during a time when ammunition is fairly limited and expensive. But as you can see behind me, I reload a lot, so it works out. But the other thing I like about them is just the modular aspect of them, because they're really easy to separate. You just twist them apart. They come in this configuration like this, where the front of the top round is pointing the same way as the front of the bottom round. But if you don't like that for some reason, you can easily switch them. I mean, that's the way it comes. That's fine. Just separate them, snap them together, and now you've got the front of the top round here and the front of the bottom round here. So rather than just flipping the mag over and inserting it, you would then have to flip it this way or flip it and turn it if that's what you prefer to do. For me, frankly, the way it comes works best, which is I just want to take the mag out, flip it over and insert it. But different people do different things differently. Likewise, if you don't like this sort of Z shape, you can, if you really want to get creative about it, you can actually take the base plates off the mag pretty easy with just a point of a round and then flip them around. And that gives you, however you want to do it, gives you a little bit more of a Z. or less of a Z, or whatever you want to do, you know, and if you put them back together, then you get less of a Z, you know. There's 4 or 5 different ways you can stick these things together. So I really did like them. I think for prone shooting, this is kind of cool to be able to separate them. If I'm at the range and I just want to shoot at steel long distance, I don't have to fight the long mag when I'm shooting prone. So that's kind of cool, and I have used them for that. I think the other aspect of them is that if I'm actually trying to shoot fast, if I'm taking a class or I'm competing or I'm worried about self-defense, then there are times when you have a failure with your gun. And if you have a double feed, for example, some failures require you to jerk that mag out. I mean, really jerk that thing out and rack that gun and clear that action completely before you insert a new mag. When you have a little short mag like this, it's hard to, you know, it's not much to get a hold of to really jerk that thing out with force. Whereas when you have a long mag, it's a lot easier to get. And that's one of the reasons why standard capacity mags are super important. But in absence of those, people buy full size 10-round mags so that they still have that ability to have something to grab a hold of to pull that mag out in case they need to clear the rifle. Now, the only downside to these that I can find, really, other than the fact that they don't hold 30 rounds, is that when the gun is used in any way that's going to have the base of this magazine in the dirt, you have a tendency to foul your ammunition down here. So when you go to reload, that has a possibility to cause you some serious heartache and jam your rifle. But other than that, as long as you're mindful of that, if you're just going to use it in ways that that's not likely to happen, I think it's a very good product. It's an excellent idea. I do like the fact that they come apart rather easily and you can snap them together however you want. I think that's kind of cool. Although, like I said, for me, now I can't get this one apart. Let's see here. I don't want to break it, but now for me, this is the configuration it comes in, and that's the one that I like the best. So all in all, I would say it's a very good product if you're in a restrictive state where you need to have 10-round mags. They seem to work flawlessly. I've had no problem with them. And again, there are the positives I listed and then the one negative. Obviously, if you're in a non-restrictive state and you can get full capacity standard mags, there's no reason for you to purchase these that I can come up with. But there are a number of restrictive states. California is not the only one. So they might be worth investigating. Once again, that's from Cross Industries, the 1010 Cross Mag. Check them out. I'll put a link in the description. Now, if it's YouTube, the link does not go in the description. It goes to the first comment pinned to the top because YouTube's a little quirky about links. So that's where you'll find it. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great week. Wherever you go, whatever you do, stay safe.